My name is Kevin Elliott, and I'm actually the founder of Passion Profits Coach. So my hope today is to share with you some information that will allow you to take more control of your life. Also help you to better identify your passions and then look at some ways that you can actually profit from those passions. I'm actually glad to be here at a Google Hangout. It's a new technology. This is actually my first time doing it, so I'm excited about doing it. And part of what I preach to my customers and clients and folks that I help is that it's all about taking action. Sometimes we all want to take what's probably the perfect action, and we can overplan things and overanalyze things, and we actually never get anything done. So it's all about taking action, and I figured it might be good doing what I do to actually show folks, prospects and clients, that I'm taking action, because I'm on a Google Hangout, and this is my first one, and I'm live. So quite excited about that. So I'm going to enable the chat feature, so if someone tunes in, they'll actually be able to chat, and I'll try to answer questions and give you some feedback, if I have some opportunities. So with that, I actually want to get started. I've got some slides that I want to kind of take you through, and once again, thanks for coming out. Did you know that Forbes magazine actually did a study and found that over 70% of the people hated their jobs? So my question tonight, are you one of them? Another study showed that most baby boomers are at least $500,000 short on money needed for retirement. And guess who's included in that group? Myself. It means that you and I and a lot of other people will actually have to work for a very long time. And I just hope that you love your job, and I'm actually doing things as we speak so that I enjoy what I'm doing. And part of it is actually being a passion profits coach. So fire your boss. Find business opportunities doing what you love with customers waiting. If you're like most people, your life will be centered around work and not the life you want. You'll continue to deal with office politics and toxic coworkers. You won't have enough time for friends and family, even though most of us, say that friends and family are the most important people. And you're constantly worried about being downsized or laid off. And lastly, you'll never get paid close to what you're worth. Folks, it's time for a different approach. My name is Kevin Elliott, and I'm the founder of Passion Profits Coach. It's time to fire your boss. Not immediately, not Monday, not Friday of next week, maybe even not next month, or maybe not by the end of the year, but the goal is to get in a position that you'll be able to fire your boss. And I want to help you find your passions, do work that you actually love and enjoy. Oh, and actually do it for money. So what I want to discuss today: creating a life that you want, having more time for what's important, family and friends, creating the type of work environment that you want to be in, and avoid constantly worrying about being downsized or laid off. We constantly see it in the paper, we see it in the headline nightly news. And a lot of us are running around and we're wondering, if we're next. And then finally, to help you get paid what you're really worth. Now, what this is not about, it's not about quitting your job overnight. It's about moving in the direction of the life that you want. Now, I know my title was pretty bold and it said fire your boss. And that is the ultimate goal, to be able to fire your boss. But sometimes, actually, the job that you're actually working now can be a platform for you to, find your passion, identify business opportunities around that passion, and sort of test your ideas, get them rolling, and then eventually be able to walk into the office and fire that boss. It's not about getting rich overnight with no work. It's often been said that most overnight success was based on many late nights of hard work. Folks, I don't have any pictures of exotic cars, million-dollar homes. It's about making a difference every day. And I just realized, I should have posted a picture of me in the car that I actually drive. I'm 6'3", 275, and I actually drive a Prius. So, I know I'm not their target market, but that just goes to show you that I'm not the guy that's selling you something or trying to convince you to sell you something by showing you, flashy sports cars and, million-dollar homes located, over the ocean or whatever. And lastly, it's not about someone else with a great idea or a special gift or the people you read about in the paper, but it's about you. Now, here's my story. Here's my family. It's my wife, Camille, and this was a recent picture, actually last summer, of us at Daytona Beach. Here's our first set of kids, and that's Max at the back and Mumu at the front. And wow, here's our third and fourth kid, as you would say, and that's Zach at the front and, Baxter kind of in the shadow. And as you can see, we love dogs. We can't seem to say no. 3 out of the 4 you see here are actually rescue dogs, but they're cool. And we actually live about 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. My story. Wondering if there was a better way. Followed the rules. Studied hard. Went to college. Got a degree. Found a good paying job. And actually, my background, most of my years of working, over 25 years, was as an engineer. So, folks, I made decent money. I can't complain. I've been, in the past, blessed with good jobs. I'm pretty sure. I've had a few times where, probably more than a few times, where I also wanted to fire the boss. And but I was always wondering if I would ever be happy. I would move to a different city. I'd have a new career move, a new title. I had a try at some small business ventures. And, like most people who are looking for better opportunities, I've tried at least 2, 3, telling the truth, probably more like 4 or 5 get rich quick schemes. Yet I was always still wondering if there was a better way. So I've been searching for years. And then I was doing some internet searching, and I came across Valerie Young's course online. And I discovered that it's okay not to fit what most of the one-eyeds are looking for. And I already had what I really needed to do work that I love and actually get paid for it. And I also wasn't alone. So if you're, tuning into this Hangout or, eventually watching this YouTube video, I'm not alone with those thoughts. So why me? Well, here's actually a testimony I got from a recent client. I'm the owner of a software company and needed to look at some creative and fresh ideas to increase profits. I recently had a brainstorming session with Kevin, and I got some great ideas that should lead to more clients and higher profits. If you are in need of a profitable business idea, Kevin's your coach. And this was an owner of a software company down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Here's another testimony. Kevin was great during our business idea coaching session. He developed several low-cost marketing ideas to help me grow my residential cleaning business. Kevin is a great creative source for developing business ideas. I look forward to working with him in the future, and I feel much appreciated for his wonderful help. And this was a business down in Orlando, Florida. So, folks, what do I want to accomplish tonight? Well, the webinar objectives, there are three main ones. One, I'm briefly going to talk about why traditional approaches to starting businesses don't work for most folks. And then, secondly, 3 steps to finding business opportunities doing what you love with customers that are actually waiting. So we're going to look at some ways that you can find a business based on your passion, but actually have people who are looking for you to help solve their problems. And then I want to show you some examples of everyday people who are profiting from their passions. All too often, people, I've done it, we will see people on television or in ads, and often those are people who have become multimillionaires or billionaires, and we hear the stories, and we just don't necessarily believe that we can sort of reach those kind of heights. But what I want to do is I want to, show you some people who are actually making a living from their passions. Now, at the end of the webinar, let me just tell you up front, there's nothing to buy. So you can actually relax and, pay attention and learn a couple things from the webinar. There's a chance to sign up for a 20-minute free consultation. And then I'm going to offer a 30% discount towards Passion to Profits private or group online sessions to anyone that's interested. Now let's start by looking at why most traditional business models don't work. One, it takes too much money to start. They're often based on your previous work experience and not what you love to do or what you have a passion for. They also don't account for your lifestyle needs. I've run across many people who are, on paper, actually successful business owners, but they did it solely based on the money, and what they discovered, they didn't have a passion for it, and so they've actually gotten a position where they've got a business, but it's really a job with tax breaks. And like I said, you don't want to end up with a job with tax breaks. Traditional business model. We start with a business idea, usually based on past work or what's hot in the market or where you can make the most money. And then, we may do some type of marketing plan. We'll look at getting financing or getting some type of loan, and then we'll go out, and try to get some customers, and we may be successful at getting customers. But then what we do is we find ourselves in a position where we ask, well, what about my passion? Because I don't really do this because I love it. I solely focus on the money side of it, and it actually doesn't allow me to live the kind of lifestyle I want to live. You may actually want to live a lifestyle where, you look out in the window in the morning and you see the ocean, you see the mountains, or there's a certain, international city you want to live in, and maybe you don't want to do work until noon, and maybe you want to work late. So those are some kind of the things you want to look at in terms of your lifestyle. But if you do the traditional model, you're probably going to end up like this guy. Now let's look at the new models for business. You can start for less than $100 to $1,000, and believe me, you can really find things that you can start off and sort of test and get some momentum, around that $100 mark. You will be actually surprised. You can do a part-time while you're still at that job. And once before, I know, you're probably watching this video or tuning into this Hangout because you like the thought of the title of being able to fire your boss. And like I said, that is the eventual goal, is to be able to fire your boss. The new models for business, a lot of them only require a laptop, internet, and a cell phone connection. And you can actually have multiple businesses based on your passion. And the reason this is important is that it allows you to diversify your income so that, let's say that you've got 3 or 4 different passions and you've created business around those passions. You're not dependent on just one. And actually having smaller passion-based businesses improves the chance of you actually replacing your current income versus just trying to go out and find something that replaces your current income. And let's say you make, $60,000 a year. Well, when you start saying, well, what can I do that will replace it $60,000 a year? It can seem a bit overwhelming. Not that you can't do it. It'll seem a bit overwhelming. But what if you started off with a small business and the first one earns, $1,500 to $2,000 a month, and then you do another one that earns another $1,000 a month, and you find another one that, maybe earns $2,500 a month, and before you know it, you're in a position to actually pay to replace your existing income or your current job. Passion profits business. This is a better model, folk, or at least I'm a little bit biased, I believe. This is the model that'll help you profit from your passions. Well, what we do is we identify problems, threats, and complaints. And then we look at trends, demographic groups, and then you tie that into things that you're passionate about, things you enjoy doing. And now you've actually got customers waiting for your help because you started off looking at what problems people have, what threats they're concerned about, or what complaints they are having. And then you also move up because now what you've discovered is you got a business that's profitable based on passions, and you've actually designed it around your lifestyle, whether it's working solo, working with a team of people, working from the beach, living in an international city, or working from the mountains, whatever it may be. And that's when you end up like this lady. Had to get a drink of water there. Now, profiting from your passions formula. And the formula we use actually has about 7 steps. We actually start off with knowing what you want, know what you have, know how to turn what you have into income, know who wants what you have, know how to turn ideas into action, know how to find support, and then lastly, know how to overcome obstacles and roadblocks. And because I've got limited time today, I'm going to focus on number 4, knowing who wants what you have, because that allows you to focus on folks that are having problems, complaints, there's a threat they're concerned about, and you're going to help them solve the problems, but you're going to tie it into what you're passionate about and find profitable businesses based on your passion with customers actually waiting for your help. Now today, like I said, I'm going to explain how to find who wants what you have. We want to identify what people need. We want to match those needs to what you already have. And we want to develop profitable business ideas around the needs of those people and your passions. Now you're probably saying, sounds great, Kevin. I would just love to find work that I have and actually get paid for it. But if you're like most people, how am I still going to pay the bills? That's always a thought. So here are a few people who were no different than you were not long ago. They're doing what they love and they're paying the bills. There's the story of Anne, who was a single mom. She loved art and painting, started working as a substitute teacher and house cleaning just to pay the bills while she sort of followed and developed her passion profit business. And now she actually travels the country teaching classes, does commission portraits, and actually has a contract to write a second book. People like you paying the bills. Brian loved junk, began cleaning out unwanted things from folks' basements, garages, and attics. And he started off by purchasing an old $700 truck, and now he runs 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com nationally. People like you paying the bills. Then there was Lindsay, who loved to eat soul food, but actually loved to eat a little bit too much, and his weight got as high as 400 pounds, and it became a health issue. So he set out to create a healthier soul food menu, and now this guy is a 180-pound chef who runs his own soul food catering company and actually has authored a cookbook, Neo Soul. Paying the bills. There was Mark, who for a long time had been collecting wooden skis, and it was sort of a hobby for him. Now, or at least a few years ago, he had over 3,000 pairs of vintage skis. Now he actually has a website. He sells his vintage skis through the website and through four home decor stores in the western U.S. And this was a recent article. This is actually on Mark's website, and it just talks about his business. Paying the bills, doing what they love. And finally, we've got Bob, who was an accountant. He enjoyed collecting pieces of china and crystal. So he began to, store different pieces, in his attic, and use his bedroom as his office. Now he actually owns a company called Replacement LTs, and they're actually the largest supplier of discount china and collectibles in the world. The great Aristotle once said, "Where your talents and the needs of the world meet lies your calling." That's actually what we're trying to do here. Your talents, your passions, what you enjoy doing, and we're trying to meet the needs of the world, their problems, their concerns, things that they're threatened by. Where your talents and the needs of the world meet lies your calling. Okay, so how do you find passion profit opportunities? I know you've got that on your mind. That's why you're here. So let's get right into it. There are 3 places to look for income opportunities: complaints, problems, or threat; trends; demographic, groups, niches; interests or hobbies; and personal experience or crisis. Now, I said that there were 3 places. There are actually 5 places, and today I'm just going to focus on 3 places. Step 1, identify complaints, problems, and threats. Some of them that I've actually run across on the internet, through a little search, is bad customer service, difficulty finding a qualified or reputable repair person, meeting potential dating partners, threat of terrorism, pedophiles on the internet, texting while driving, and time-stressed out workers. Now, what are some other ones? Well, lack of retirement savings. I talked about that a little bit at the beginning of the webinar. I'm faced with that. You may be faced with that if you're a baby boomer. Or if you're, probably over the age of 40, we read about it daily almost in the, on the news or in the newspapers or magazines or even online. Worldwide food shortages. Now, we may not see a lot of that in the U.S., but if you go to some other countries, man, they've got some really serious food shortages. Not understanding new health care law. 1 minute the new health care law is supposed to come into effect, and then it gets moved, and so folks just don't know what to think. There's obviously the political side. One side saying it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread, and the other side says it's going to be the end of the world. But just not knowing what's going to happen with the new health care laws, and then the increased cost of food. I feel that every time I actually go to the grocery store. I walk out with just a couple bags and I can't believe, I spent 70, 80, or sometimes even $100. Now here's a tip. Watch news headlines for repeating themes. When you constantly see these same things being repeated in the news, that's a problem, a complaint, or a threat that you may want to pay attention to, because therein could lie some opportunities. Now let's look at trends, both new and ongoing. Growing aging population, increased interest in organic local food, increased awareness of gluten tolerance, growth in vegan and raw food diets. I don't know about raw food diets. I guess that's something I need to read up on. Raw food, okay. Buying local, buying American. The rise in the use of social media, sense of purpose, balance, and meaningful enlightenment. People want that in their lives. So what are some other trends that you see? Increased use of smartphones, people walking more for exercise, increased interest in handmade products, more people working from home. Tip: ask yourself, what kind of things are you, your family, or your friends doing more of lately? That's a trend that you want to watch. Therein could lie opportunity. Demographic groups or niches. Here's a whole list here. I won't go through all of them. Babies, teens, young adults, baby boomers, retirees, elderly, expatriates living in other countries. You got the veterans and their spouses. Now, be sure to look at other niches and look at group niches, certain professions, executive, farmers, B&B owners, engineers. Also look at specific industries, manufacturing, tourism, high tech. And then look at lifestyles, homeschoolers, vegans, or at-home business owners. Those are some niches also to look at that are not specific to a group of people, but maybe an industry, profession, or a type of lifestyle. Tip: what groups or associations do you belong to, or ones that you have a lot in common with? There may be some opportunities there. Now, let's actually get into the 3 steps of finding business opportunities. We're going to look, and we're going to start with a complaint, problem, or threat, any associated trend, what demographic group is most impacted, what hobbies or personal experiences, maybe even crises that you've been through, do you have that could help those people most impacted by these problems, constraints, threats, or even trends. Step 1, identify complaint or problem. Okay. Time-stressed workers, meeting potential dating partners. Trend: growing aging population, increase interest in organic or local food. What demographic group is most impacted? Single parents, baby boomers. Step 3, what are your interests, passions, or experiences? Writing, teaching, organizing. You love gardening, traveling, or cooking. You're a single mom or you're a divorcee. Step 4, how could you use your interests, passions, or experiences to help this group or niche with their problems with and their complaints and their threats and trends? Okay, let's look at a possible income opportunity. And what I've done is I've kind of loosely looked at, problem stats, some examples, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to kind of flow chart it. I'm going to kind of take you through the process of actually saying, here might be actually a business opportunity based on your passion that's worth researching or testing further. So we can take Problem, potential dating partners. Trend, growing aging population. Group, baby boomers. Interests, and those are your interests. You like organizing and travel. Potential profit opportunity, organizing tours for single baby boomers. Planning local events for single baby boomers. Now, folks, as you kind of go through this exercise to identify, some potential ideas around, passion profit opportunities, don't throw anything away. Don't try to filter. Don't try to critique any of your ideas. Right now, we want to give them a chance to actually grow and nurture, and later on we can actually test them and see which ones are going to be viable. All right, let's look at another example. We're going to identify a problem or threat. High unemployment among students. I see it on the news all the time. These college students that have graduated, they've got $50,000 to $100,000 in debt, maybe even more. They've got college degrees and they can't find work, and some of them, best they can do is working at a Starbucks. And not a knock on Starbucks, I actually like their coffee, but to have a college degree and then be dealing with that kind of debt from going to college, and the best you can do is be a cashier somewhere or work a low-paying retail job. That's kind of scary. So the problem that we have is we have high unemployment among students. There's a trend, increased use of social media. Step 2, what demographic group is most impacted? I would say graduating students or young adults. Okay, what are your interests, passions, or experiences? You like writing, teaching, and organizing, or organizing. Gardening, traveling, or cooking. You love using Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and you just seem to have a knack for knowing how to get in and out of it, how to get exposure. You just seem to be a couple levels above most folks that are using it, and you just really enjoy, social media. So, possible income opportunities. So we'll take the problem, high unemployment among students, trend, increased use of social media, group, young adults, your interests, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Sorry, folks, I'm going to grab some water here. I'm actually getting a little thirsty and my words are not coming out quite right. So, passion profit opportunity, teaching young adults how to use social media to find job opportunities. Let's look at an example of a trend. Identify an interesting trend, buying local, buying America, what demographic group is most impacted, middle to older Americans, what do you enjoy or what are you passionate about? You like blogging, writing, or doing research. Passion profit idea, create a review website on American-made products or local products. You could charge a subscription to it. You could have sponsors on the website, and you can use something called Google AdSense, where they actually insert ads on your website, and you get paid when people click on those ads. Or you can actually sell products. Monthly newsletter featuring Made in America products. Now, let's look at a problem that I looked at, and it was an example to actually start Profit Passions Coach. Identified a problem, complaint, or threat. Problem, retirement crisis, not enough saved. Demographic group most impacted. Baby boomer. I'm actually an early baby boomer, but I'm a baby boomer. Any associated complaints, problems, or threats. And there is a trend sort of associated And that's the increased number of people who actually dislike or hate their jobs. And, you know, they know they've got to work longer um, into what's a traditional retirement age. And that's a whole nother subject. I don't want to get into that. So, can you imagine having to do that and you dislike or hate your job and, you're still working in your 70s because you have to? So, what did I enjoy? I enjoyed teaching and problem solving. So what was my passion profit idea? It was Passion Profits Coach. And that's actually why I'm here, trying to help you find your passion on this webinar. So I do private consultations, online workshops, and I do live seminars. This is just a graphic to show you the steps, the 3 steps to take to finding your passion profits. We look at a problem, complaint, or threat. We look at trends and demographics. We look at your interests, which could be hobbies, personal experience, and then that's how we come up with passion profit opportunities. Now, let's look at the steps again. Identify complaint, problem, or threat, any associated trends, what demographic group is most impacted, what hobbies or personal experiences or even crises that you've overcome or been through do you have that would help those people that are most impacted. Now let me do a recap. If you do nothing, you'll continue to deal with office politics and toxic coworkers. You'll never have enough time for family and friends. You'll constantly worry about being downsized or laid off. You'll never do or see things that you've always dreamed of. And this one's a little bit harsh, but you'll always be 2 to 3 paychecks from being homeless. So what's next, Kevin? Get a free 20-minute consultation. You can call me at 678-948-5346 or visit us at www.yourpassionprofits.com. That's 678-948-5346, www.yourpassionprofits.com. Now, what's involved in a free 20-minute consultation? I know that's probably on your mind. Basically, we need to determine if we're fit. I want to find out more about you, what issues you're faced with, what things you want to accomplish, what dreams you might have, what kind of things get you excited in terms of work or potential work. You might already have a business idea, but you're just not sure how to, get it unstuck and move it into, an action mode. I'll look and see if I can help you. And folks, believe it or not, I can't help everybody. And then sometimes, as much as I want to help people, we're not a fit. And then, do you see value in what I'm actually offering in my either private consultations or actually the online classes or workshops that we actually offer? Are you comfortable with me? It's really that simple. It's no pressure. We'll talk, find out more about you, see if I can help you, see if you think what I'm offering would benefit you, and then look at, some of the sessions or type of sessions that we're actually offering that is either affordable to you, makes the most sense to you where you are right now. What are the goals of a Profit to Passion session or sessions should you decide that you want to, let me try to help you? Well, we want to clarify what's important in your life. We want to generate ideas around things that you enjoy. We want to match those ideas with the needs of other people. And then we want to look at creating income streams around that work. And then lastly, we want to look at how you can actually get started by having some action steps. Because if we don't take actions, sessions or even this webinar, if you don't take any kind of action, it's going to be no different than, maybe the ton of books you have on the shelves that were great books and have very good information, but you did nothing with it. Or the, seminars you've been to and you didn't take any action. So, gotta take action. And then we want to look at ways to overcome, some common obstacles you're going to run into, and finding support is a big one. You may have a supportive spouse, you may not. You may have supportive family, you may not. There's some ways to find support and be creative so that we can, take what you enjoy doing and look at profitable ways that you can actually profit from it. Now, how will success be measured? We're looking for 1 to 2 good business ideas based on your lifestyle needs and your interests or your passions. And then we're looking at your next action steps that you can literally take, either the next day, the following week, but to keep things going and give you some momentum and excitement about your future. Are there any guarantees? I do have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You'll get 1 to 2 good ideas for creating work that you love with your next action steps, or I'll refund any consultation fee or workshop or online session fee within 24 hours, no question asked. Folks, we live in an environment where if I don't do a good job and provide you with a good service, you can go on different places and give me a bad review, and it's going to impact my business going down the road. So I don't want bad reviews out there. I want satisfied customers. But if for some reason it's not working out for you, like I said, I'll refund your consultation fee within 24 hours, no questions asked. I want to thank you guys for taking time to join this webinar. I scheduled it a little bit longer because I didn't know if, I might have some people tune in who might have questions. But just you actually tuning into either this, Hangout broadcast or actually watching this on YouTube, actually tells me something about you. You're actually ready to take back control of your life. Look at ways that you can find to profit from your passions and doing work that you love. So the fact that you're viewing this actually tells me you're a step above most folks. And, all I can say is give me a call. I'd love to help you. And I want to leave you with a quote. The great author Harvey Mackay said, "Find something you love to do, and you'll never work a day in your life." And folks, that is so powerful. I hope you take it to heart. And once again, thanks for tuning in. Get your free consultation at 678-948-5346 or visit us at www.yourpassionprofits.com.